Hey everyone, my name is Caroline King, and I just wanted to give you a quick look at my ePortfolio. So first is my overview. This talks about all the experiences I had at KSU and how they positively impacted me as a teacher. I also talk about my action research and how it has helped me become a more effective teacher and in turn helped my students as well. My first page that I'm going to talk about is my subject matter expert standards. There are 4 of them. Standard 1.1 possesses broad, current, and specialized knowledge of subject matter and demonstrates this knowledge to colleagues, parents, and students. My first piece of evidence is my S'more newsletter. So here I researched growth mindset and was able to communicate what I had learned with my classmates and my colleagues through this e-flyer, and it gave them information on the growth mindset, how it's beneficial, and it even linked to a TED Talk on the subject. My second is my classroom equity project. So after I had learned about the gender stereotypes in our diversity class, I created a set of lessons that help students recognize some of the gender diversities they might experience, especially in the workforce, and how they could overcome some of those gender stereotypes and pursue whatever career they would like. My last piece of evidence is my backwards design unit. I used what I knew about the backwards design strategy and what I had learned from professors to create a narrative writing unit that used a online resource to create online interactive stories that students wrote themselves. The second standard is 1.2, possesses an interdisciplinary understanding of curriculum and its applications to real life, and accurately represents understanding through the use of multiple explanations, technologies, and or strategies. For my first 2 pieces, I focused on the real life aspect. They had a PBL on rocks and minerals that they completed, that where they owned a pet store and they needed to make money, so they had to sell pet rocks. And they created advertisements based on their research that they had done on what would make the best rock, and they included, those properties of rocks and minerals. This linked to our field trip to the Fernbank Museum, where they got to see hands-on, in real life, rocks and minerals, fossils, and Georgia habitats. And my third piece of evidence was curriculum compacting. So students were given a learning contract that they used, and they researched an American Indian group, and these were mixed ability groups, so everyone was able to participate. And then they created Google Slides that presented the information they had collected on how those American Indians live their day-to-day lives. Standard 1.3 talks about possessing strong EECE pedagogical content knowledge and uses that knowledge to create approaches to instructional challenges. My first piece of evidence was on moving the needle and how I used different strategies to overcome the lack of technology in our classroom, but still wanting to be able to do technology lessons and how to create them with those limited pieces of technology. My increased complexity was a way that I approached a more personal challenge, so I created a scamper lesson to use with some of my gifted students that didn't go well, and then I had to reflect on that and really meet the challenge and create a new lesson that was still rigorous but that students could be successful with. And my math interview was a lesson that I completed. I used my knowledge of multiplication and division and the strategies that students use to analyze what this student specifically did and to create future steps to use to help them master the standard. The last standard is 1.4, integrated, flexible, elaborate, and deep instruction. I used the jigsaw method to integrate reading and the social studies standards of explorers to help students become experts and share with their group. I also talked about my action research, where I integrated visual arts and reading standards. And the last was a learning contract. Students were able to use a learning contract